Yep, we are back, but I don't know what happened there to me. It just disconnected me from not only the stream but also the party.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I don't know if that's my connection or not, but I'm not gonna go to assumptions. Ardell, make sure you.
Yeah. Basically nothing. Valkyrie has retired. Goggy's moved up into 11th. Um, yeah. There's a mega battle between Eagles, Titan, and Goalie for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Together, just keeping his gap. That's pretty much it.
Radio commentary, by the way, for right now.
We have Goalie goes down into 8th. Beautiful. You have Eagles trying to fight back, and Titan has lost out on that corner. Um, yeah, I'd say pretty decent racing. Eagles goes for dive into 4. Goalie goes for the switch back on him. Um, very hard racing between these two. Other than that, I wouldn't say there's anything else really going on. Everyone's
Well,
pretty
what
much
lap are
spread
we
out.
on?
We are on 18.
All right, so I'll be in to call the last lap again
Uh-huh.
early. No, I'm kidding. But
Eagles going for a dive into 9. No, you don't. Yes, he has. What a move by Eagles into 9. I wouldn't do it.
you'll have to clip that one since the stream did not get it. But since I'm just joining back in, I will not be able to see live timing until about another 15 seconds. So I just want to remind people, F1 later tonight in Australia for Tier 1. Next week we're in Britain for Tier 3 and F2. So,
Eagles.
yes.
Oh, Titan
All
with
right,
a mega
I'm
run.
back.
Will he go for a dive on Eagles? No, he does not. But Eagles just go deep, banging in between these 3. And Goggy has somehow come out of nowhere and is up in the 10th.
Bold
Interesting.
premise, taking advantage. Here we go. Titan and Goggy side by side. These two collided on a formation lap in preseason, but right now they're gonna collide again!
Yes, it is!
I think that was a bit of a lag right there, but Titan still sent Goggy after he was inside of him. So I don't really know what the point of that was from Titan to just continue on the throttle and still send him around. Penultimate lap underway, by the way, for Skither. Yeah, that was chaotic. Well, that's another one to add to the teammate collision list. Don't collide with your teammate. Well, Titan and Goggy did just that.
Kind of the biggest rule in racing.
And you know what's funny from that? I think Titan and Goggy both still will get points because Egg adds another penalty to the list.
Eagles,
He has 22 seconds.
Keep it clean,
He has
my
22
guy.
seconds to his name, and Titan has 12 seconds to his name, all for track limits on his end. So, yeah, Goggy still outside the points, but on track, but will get it when the penalties do get applied. Titan with a big dive. Egg is around, but Goatley through on both. And we'll get to the final lap this time.
Something very interesting here. The super sauce might last to the end.
Might. We'll see. Titan through on Goatley. He gets the overtake done. Yeah, still got one more lap to go. And Goatley on the outside this time. Going to try to do what Oscar Piastri did in the sprint race and go the long way around. Can he hold it? Yes!
Beautiful.
Goatley through for 8th. And Egg now going to duke it out with Blue Goggy. This is going to get interesting. No love lost between them two. And a first penalty for Kazuchi. But Egg through on Blue Goggy. Will he stay that way into the last couple of corners? Yes, Egg is ahead. But how will Goggy win out when the penalties get applied here from the end of this race? I think Egg is just kind of holding him up here. Toying with him now. Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, he's just toying with him. We'll get back to that in a moment. But Jack is within striking distance of Wavy. However, Jack has a penalty, so that will not matter. Skither is entering the final couple of corners, and he started this race on pole, but he also started this weekend leading the championship by a sizable gap. And he's played it cool, calm, and collected to extend the championship lead and another F2 win, a first on the season. Skither wins Austria. The feature race goes to him ahead of Josh, who's second. Critical for him to finish there for the championship's sake as well. and minimize the damage done. Metal won the sprint race, podium in the feature race, and Wavy Knife returns to a top 4 spot in RPL F2. Well done to Wavy. Jack 5th, FBL 6th. On debut, FBL's teammate gets 7th, and we still got more battles edging on. Goatley will get 8th on track, then Titan, but Egg and Blue Goggy racing wheel to wheel, making Goggy pick up a penalty. But out of the final corner, a little bit of lag. Egg hangs on track, but Blue Goggy promoted to 9th after the penalties do get applied.
Wow.
And Morgan Cheeseman, our last finisher. Well, that will be it for the feature race. Skither and Metal are 2 winners.
Wow. I mean, is it really enough to weaken if Skither doesn't somehow pull off a win?
It is his 29th F2 victory. And he has now won in RPL F2 in yet another season. This being his 9th. He'll get to celebrate on the top step of the podium. Putting those fingers in the air. And raising that trophy now. Here are your final results from the weekend. We can get the results now. Look at this. Your driver swell scored points. Titan scored a point. Egg scored a point. Virtuosi did a really good job, I must say, in comparison to how they've done in previous rounds so far. PHM still pointless so far. Trident, a really good weekend, 1st and 5th overall. High Tech and ART with their main drivers scoring points. Your feature or sprint race results first that we had just prior. I don't see much in terms of the timing, in terms of penalties there, but the sprint race now off our screens, the feature race on our screens. Here you go for our final results. Skither ahead of Josh, then Metal on the podium. Wavy Knife, a really decent result. He's not had that high of a result in F2 since Zandvoort last season when he came back onto the podium. Jack, a former champion inside the top 5. FBL, good result from him. He had a very quiet race, especially considering where he started. Kuzuchi ending up in the points for both the sprint race and the feature race on debut. Goatley in the points for the feature race. Goggy with the fastest lap, getting an extra point for that, being in the top 10. And then Titan in 10th, running out the points. But the 2 teammates probably wanting better there at Prema after colliding. We lost from this race Valkyrie and Blonde, and our first race we only just lost Titan, it looked like. Your final thoughts from today's event?
Well, I'd
Ardell.
say, good weekend for Metal. Prema, stop hitting each other. And yeah, I'd say, Skither is most likely going to be the champion this year, or season.
So Skither said his wheel stopped shifting as the second he passed Josh. So that is what happened between the pair of them.
He was doing Ayrton Senna strats at Brazil.
Well, you know what? He did end up winning the race after all, so I think that's a fair
Fair enough.
comparison in a way. And in a way, at least. But ahead of asking Skither and Metal if they want an interview, who do you give driver of the day from that feature race to? I would have to say Skither being the easy option.
Yeah. I'd say that too. Oh,
But I want to give it... Good.
Or I would say RPL.
Who?
FBL.
Oh. Yeah, I wouldn't say FBL driver of the day, but I'd say I'd give him a shout out nonetheless, because I think for his case, he did a really good job. And he didn't start well, but imagine if he maybe started on pole in the sprint race. He could have had a podium maybe. Could have, should have, would have, whatever. We're not going to go into the what-ifs too deeply, but I think the thing for FBL is that he showed good pace this time, because he's usually not one of the fastest drivers here at all, even in F2, so he did a good job today. In both races he got points, so Virtuosi needed that. I've not got a response from Metal or Skither on an interview. I will invite Metal, because he's through Xbox, Skither not, so I'll invite Metal, but if I don't get a response in about a minute time or anything, we will end the stream here. Unfortunately, the stream will be cut into 2 parts from that whole shenanigan there. It sucks that happened, but things happen. So, what are you gonna do? Fair play to Skither, extending the championship lead and also picking up a 29th F2 win all time. I think if he continues at this rate, with how much pace he's had and with the races this season, he could beat Luke Grange's record of 45 wins, but I think he's going to beat the pole record first. He's got 3 in a row. He's got his 15th pole today, 3 off of the record Luke has. But, we were speaking about poles with Skither, Ardell. 3 in a row. Only one driver has done 4 in a row. Can he do that next week in Britain?
Maybe. You never know.
Only time will tell. We don't know.
Very true. Very true.
So, I don't think Metal or Skither are going to join us by the looks of it. So, it's time to end off the stream and let you all know where we are the rest of this weekend and next week. So, later on today, F1 Tier 1 action resumes in Australia. We have Tier 3 next week in Britain. F2 will join them, but on Saturday compared to Thursday. And Tier 2 is in Spain for the event. Just some upcoming F2 races as well, if you're not familiar with what our calendar is. We have Saudi Arabia after Britain, which will be interesting to see how the drivers tackle that circuit. And Qatar, which we ran in preseason, which is going to be a handful, but one the drivers will be used to. And we will return to Texas as well for a home race for some Americans as well, which will be nice. Home race next week for Silverstone for our F2 drivers. We'll see how they tackle that next week. And later on today as well for Australia for the event for F1 Tier 1 to remain with ending off the weekend. Ryan Searles, RPL Ardell, your 2 commentators, signing off for the night. Hope you have a good one, and we'll see you then.